I'm going for 3-0.
Oh,
We are
okay.
due for a big
confident
win.
again.
Go Pereira onto his left foot. Can he? Oh, yes! Lovely finish again.
Chelsea fall to pieces in the space of 5 minutes.
For 17 minutes, Fulham were outside of the bottom three.
Johnny Watkins is there, and that's curtains for Fulham.
Fulham versus Newcastle. I think we'll be down before then.
Arsenal only have themselves to blame.
It's Arsenal. I have no words.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. And today we have a new member to our mic brigade. Newcastle fan Manjun has joined us in buying a mic just for you listeners. Because for those of you who aren't listening to us on Spotify, of course, what are you doing? Can go and support us on Spotify as well. If not, you want to look at our faces, can also. We are also on YouTube at our YouTube channel, Football Armchair Experts. Joining Manjun today also, there's Liverpool fan Inran, Chelsea fan Robin, and I myself, Mark. I'm a Fulham fan. So hopefully all of you have enjoyed your Easter weekend. Quite apt for Easter weekend. The man revered in the Premier League for his miracles has risen in the time of need. Big Sam has produced the shock of the weekend, you can say. West Brom only went to Chelsea and won 5-2. None of us got that result. I'm pretty sure most of you listeners and viewers got that result either. Thomas Tuchel's 10 league game unbeaten run came to an end. Our resident Chelsea expert. So what do you think about the Chelsea result then?
Okay, now I have calmed down since the weekend, so that's good. All's good now. What do I think of the result? I think it's embarrassing. There's no better word than embarrassing. We made West Brom look like Manchester City. It felt that way. Every attack that came looked like it was going to be a goal. It's very surprising how Chelsea could become so porous just like that. Right? I didn't expect this level of incompetency, especially after the past few games before the international break. There is really no good excuse for this except the sending off. But I believe that it is a blip. I don't think this will be a sustained poor run of form for Chelsea. Well, at least I hope not. But I don't think it will be a big issue. I think it's just a lesson to be learned. I think Tuchel didn't really prepare for a sending off situation. The funny part, I think, is written in the stars, right? Like Thiago Silva had to be the guy making a mistake again. Like on his debut match, it was against West Brom also, and he made that terrible mistake to give West Brom the first goal. So I think West Brom is Thiago Silva's bogey team now, man.
It's not just that. I think Chelsea is Callum Robinson's favourite team. All 5 of his Premier League goals have come against Chelsea. That's a pretty amazing record to have.
Yeah, man. And
he's not scored against anyone else.
Good goals, and they were all very, very nice goals. So I don't want to discount West Brom. They were really, really good on the day.
I mean, don't really like to trash people on this kind of situations, but I think Jorginho particularly had a terrible game.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
one of those
pass, right?
Out of like
that caused the sending off.
You can say 0 out of 10 in that game.
Oh,
shocking.
It was one of those first 2 goals were his fault kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And every time there was pressure on him by any West Brom players, he always seemed to, be unsure of what he was doing. And it seemed like the back line also like, they seem to accept that, okay, because we are down to 10, it's all right if we lose.
Yeah, to his defense, I'm not sure if it applies, but he just came back from injury, so I'm not sure how fit he really was. But he really looked off the pace. It was quite scary.
Jorginho?
Considering he was like having an upturn in form.
If he's not fit, I don't think he's like that indispensable that you must play him even though he's semi-fit. That's the thing. Chelsea has a lot of other options.
Too bad Kante was injured.
Kante.
Yeah, the shocking one is maybe Billy Gilmore, but Tuchel is somehow a little reluctant to play the youngsters as much as he say he believes in the youth. He hasn't really shown enough faith in like Gilmore.
I feel like a lot of the defense, like a lot of it feels like they can't be bothered to block. They just like shoot on.
Yeah, everyone looked like off the pace. Like Kurt Zuma was also really bad in the game. Very slow to react, and that's why the defense looked so messy. Everybody was all over the place. There's a lot of space for West Brom players. Of course, West Brom's attack was pretty good. Like the Pereira had very, very good goals, man. He was really good on the day.
You said that maybe this is a blip, but of course there was a little bit of a bust up during training also. Kepa and Rudiger, both of these players weren't involved in the game also, but potentially things start spilling over in emotions start spilling over in the dressing room. You never quite know lah.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't boil on into something greater, or it doesn't underline like a bigger problem boiling underneath the surface. But I think a defeat is also a good thing for Chelsea to taste, like for Tuchel to experience, so that we are not in this dream state, this bubble, like we will never lose. So it is good that we lost, and it's not against like a rival club. Like Charity FC, it strikes again, right?
I think Big Sam, right, it gets stronger the later into the season. So it's like...
Gets stronger. I thought he's out like that.
He's scaling on. It's like... As the season go up, right, his power also go up with it. That's why now West Brom so strong.
I guess maybe can ask Manjun this. Thomas Tuchel said if a woman doesn't want to go out with you, you cannot force her. Step back and maybe she will call you. Good life advice?
I think it's trash advice. Don't listen to Thomas Tuchel.
So for those of you wanting to pick up girls out there, probably not the best idea to do that.
I mean, Werner's still not scoring yet, so not working.
Yeah, man.
But when he starts scoring, then you can start taking that advice.
So when he starts scoring, then you can ask the girls out. So it's okay.
And then the girls will ask him out.
Oh.
But it is true though. I mean, we didn't really touch on this because international break, don't really want to talk about it. But, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen Werner's miss against North Macedonia. Pretty much a continuation of his Chelsea issues.
It carried on, in Mason Mount's goal. Do you guys see?
Yeah.
It was a chance for Werner to easily score, but he took a touch and he was quite lucky to get the assist for Mount. So I was shocked when he didn't shoot, like, oh my God, this guy's confidence is really not there.
Feels very Morata-esque.
Yeah, wow, don't say that.
It's like when he came, it was also all the hype, and then like after that, he kept missing all the easy shots.
Yeah, that's
like he always appear in the right place also, but like always cannot score one.
I hope
but
not,
actually,
man.
is this a Chelsea problem? I mean, before Morata, there was Fernando Torres.
Yeah,
Torres, there was...
Yeah, actually, after Drogba, there's like no more good strikers at Chelsea.
It's only
already,
Drogba and Costa. Only these two have...
Oh yeah, Costa, yeah. That's why when you have someone that can fire you, like that's performing, like a striker that's performing well, then they can win the league.
So what you're saying is the white guys can't perform for Chelsea. Only the black strikers can.
So far, it seems to be the case. Yes.
Diego Costa not black lah.
So far, that is the worrying trend.
With regards to this week's game, not a very big game. I think Chelsea should be able to deal with Crystal Palace pretty easily.
I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. I think we have to bounce back in the league. I'm going to be more conservative. I think it'll be a 1-0.
I want to see Roy Hodgson ruin everyone's day lah. So yeah, go for a draw. The draw against Everton quite inspiring lah. 1-1 as well.
Wait, let me look at Chelsea's fixtures. I need to see which games they can win and which games they cannot win.
He's trying to reverse engineer how Chelsea drop out the top 4.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is a winnable game. If they don't win this one, they got nothing else. They cannot win the rest already.
It's quite tough, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not say cannot. They got Brighton ahead, but this is like one of the easier games. 2-1 Chelsea.
Chelsea will be a bit more conservative this one, but they probably will have enough to beat Palace lah. I'll go 1-0. Mason Mount to score the winning goal.
Wow.
I mean, at least, I think for the other games, it's like Brighton, Fulham, all that. At least they're still fighting for like survival, right? Crystal Palace really nothing to play for already.
Right. Although, it's nothing to play for, they still got a point against Everton. We've already given Chelsea a little bit of grief. I think we need to do the opposite for West Brom. West Brom face Southampton. Possible winnable game for West Brom. If they win this, possibly they are back in with a chance. You never know. 7 games maybe still enough for West Brom to pull off probably the greatest of escapes. Any chance for West Brom to come back from the dead? I think I can ask Manjun for this, as a person who's regularly involved in relegation fights.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
From experience.
I don't like to be in a relegation fight. But
No,
if I
I
happen
didn't
to
say
be,
that you like to be.
but then if my team
Who
happen
likes
to
to
be
be?
one,
Yeah,
then
who
let's make it interesting lah. So I would want West Brom to win this actually. Yeah, sucks to be Fulham, but then
Yeah, I think Fulham dropping the ball there. So many losses recently.
West Brom. That's the thing. They have never won. They have never won and gotten a positive result right after. I predict Callum Robinson will not score in this game. So
It's not
Yeah.
Chelsea, ma.
Yeah.
the way he plays Chelsea, it's like he's suddenly from Jolinton become like a Aguero. I don't know how he does it. So I believe the willpower of a Big Sam and his team were able to get a result here. I'm going crazy lah. I'm going to go for a 2-0 West Brom win.
Oh, okay. West Brom back-to-back wins. This will really shake up the relegation fight. Imagine if Newcastle and Fulham both go down and West Brom survive.
I think there won't be a podcast next season.
There's a
We'll revolt.
I will burn down everything.
got a podcast, but need to do with the championship.
Championship edition. next game against Ipswich Town. Walao.
Yeah, I think for me, I think Southampton is a bit. Yeah, this kind of teams is like you don't really know which direction they will go, and it's anyone's game. But I don't think West Brom can be two on the bounce. So I'm still gonna go for a draw. I think gonna be 0-0.
You know what? I'm also going to go for West Brom win. I think it'll be quite an interesting end to the season here.
Putting pressure on your own team.
Yeah, surely it must do them some confidence that win against Chelsea. Going to go 2-1 West Brom.
Both teams are a bit inconsistent. I mean, Southampton also went 2-0 down, but miraculously somehow won 3-2. I don't think West Brom will win again. So I think a realistic one might be a draw. I'm going with a draw, but there'll be goals lah. So I think I'll play my 2-2 here.
Burnley last time out went 2-0 up against Southampton, but lost the game. This time they will go up against a Newcastle side that managed to scramble a point home against Spurs. Surely you must be very happy with the unexpected point.
Pleasantly surprised by the result. But look at the way we played, right? I think maybe we should have gotten a bit more out of this game. Maybe if Jordan's foot wasn't like singing, maybe if he's like of some quality, then we have gotten something out of this game. But I don't expect this to last, to be honest. I think it just
Callum Wilson might be back.
That's what they've been saying for the past 2 months. He will never be back.
Running out of games to be back for.
Guys, even he's not back, right? He still end the season as top scorer and top assister. The good thing about this game, right, is that I think he played more adventurous lah. He actually played Matt Ritchie and Jacob Murphy on the wings, so it is a bit more risky. And it paid off in the end, but I don't think he will do the same thing against Burnley.
Well, he looked down on Tottenham.
Well, I looked down on his... it would... Unlikely Steve Bruce will go to a Burnley's deep hand turf and try to claim all 3 points there, or try to outplay Burnley. I don't think he'll try to do that.
I guess you can say the good thing is that they were able to capitalize on a bad Spurs side lah. You know, previously you said that the relegation fight will be finished before the Matchweek 38 Fulham versus Newcastle. I actually think it'll be over before then. I think we'll be down before then. So I'm going to go Newcastle win 1-0.
I don't know what to say. I suddenly feel very hopeful, thanks to Mark. I don't know. I can't bring myself to predict to have like 2 wins in a row.
It's not 2 wins, but it's just a draw and then...
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
it felt like a win.
Like a win.
Oh my god, I suddenly forget.
Feels like a
too
win.
optimistic.
I felt like survival was there already. No, I don't think so. I'll go for a 0-0 lah.
I will go for a Burnley win. I quite like Burnley. I think Burnley will win 1-0.
Based on your previous predictions, it doesn't seem like you like Burnley all that much.
Yeah, why suddenly change?
No, I mean, I see the way they play. I think they deserve more than the credit that I've been giving because I don't watch them.
I think it's going to be a draw lah. Newcastle, so many draws. 1-1.
Jose Mourinho came out and said, same coach, different players. What do you all think about that though? Jose Mourinho too asshole to say that? Or is it something that is very acceptable for a manager to be able to say to try and fry up your players?
Okay, break.
Oh, okay. Somebody needs to address his asshole issues lah. Okay, can.
Oh my god.
Guys, I did prepare a trivia for you all this time.
Oh, okay. Like what? So you have a regular segment of like, somebody's toilet break.
In case
trivia.
you feel a void, then I can pull out the trivia. Where were we?
Jose Mourinho's comments on how it's same coach, different players. Agree or disagree?
I mean, there's merit to what he says. I mean, I can understand from his perspective. He's still doing the same thing that got him all the wins, right? But the players are making to him, it's like the players are the ones making the mistake. Because to him, it's like, okay, he's like proven his coaching skills really. And it's the players themselves who have never won anything. So I can see how in his mind it's like, it's not my fault. I win with like other group of players. I do the same thing here, but this group of players don't have the mentality or whatever, or they too mistake prone. And or maybe with the change in the meta to more pressing and all that, it's harder for him to win. Last time you can just sit back, hit people on the break, but now it's like so hard. I think it's harder to hit people on the break because you get the ball back, then you just cannot press really. Then if you cannot play out of it, right, then how you counter attack?
Robin, as a person who's had Jose Mourinho as your previous manager. What do you think about his comments?
Twice, man. I had him twice. No, I really like the guy, lah, but okay, what he said were facts. Is the true? It is what it is, right? Same coach, different players, but it's not something that he should say to the media for sure. I don't think the players would take it well. Like the modern day players, I don't think they like this kind of direct criticism and added pressure from the media. And all these stories that's being written is very unnecessary for the players' lives. But I think what he says comes from a place of self-defense. And he's a very snarky guy. So you start to criticize him, that's when he starts to go crazy. And then eventually, because he doesn't really accept blame most of the time, he always deflects responsibility whenever things don't go so well. I think I don't remember a time where he assumed responsibility for a loss. The best thing he might have said is like the better team won. But he never say like he made a mistake or anything. He never acknowledges that he's wrong. But he needs to change. He has to learn also.
I think the crucial point, which I think some other pundits have pointed out, is that no problem saying whether this is true or not. But I think the problem is that whenever Spurs do win, I think remember the 6-1, the corresponding fixture for this actually, when Spurs did beat Man U previously, their counter-attacking work and all that. He sort of said that, it was his brilliant master plan coming to fruition and all that. I mean, yes, whenever they get good results, it's him. Whenever it's bad results, or actually the players never perform what I want them to do. So in a way where you can't really have both, then it sounds very... It's hard to, especially as players, you hear this kind of thing is, we're never going to win in that kind of situation. No?
Which is also weird, right? Because there are players who would die for him. I think Ibrahimovic loves him, I think. So there are players who love him, but I guess it's just the demographics have changed.
Man, you still do have the unbeaten away record.
Really?
He is 22 games unbeaten.
Amazing.
So
wow.
will that loss finally come against Spurs?
I don't think so. Man U's been scraping through games like it's nobody's business. I think it's going to be a Man U win. I mean, I hope they win.
Okay, yes, yeah, suddenly, suddenly remember that he has...
Suddenly come on.
Yeah. Need Tottenham to drop
a
more
horse
points.
in this race. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a loss for Spurs. I don't believe in Mourinho's tactics anymore or him as a manager. I think Man U's going to win quite convincingly, actually, 2-0. Oh yeah, but I got Harry Kane now. Okay, 2-1. Harry Kane scored.
I think it will be a draw, but Spurs will take the lead and then second half Man U fight back, that kind of game. I think it will be 1-1.
I will go for draw as well. But I think I will go higher scoring. I will go 2-2 for this one.
Oh.
I think I'll use my 2-2 also on this one. Seems like possible. Very possible.
I guess maybe we can go to the next one because, we did talk a little bit about Brighton before. Brighton, I guess this has been the story of the season. Heroically lost against Man U last time out. It was a 2-1 defeat. I didn't watch this, but I looked at the score. I was thinking, maybe Brighton 3 wins in a row. But eventually Man U came back, scored 2 late goals. But Brighton next face an Everton side that have been pretty flaky against the smaller teams. I think first, before we predict the result of this game, Everton out of the top 4 race.
No leh. If they win their game, they actually have a game in hand. So if they win their level of points, not level, they're above Liverpool and Spurs, So I think they still have a long shot. Yeah, let me look at the run-up.
Can.
Spurs,
I'm
Arsenal,
also not sure about their run-in.
West Ham. Okay, quite easy. But the last day they play Man City. So
Okay.
Maybe, can you imagine it's like if the last game is just like hinging on, the top 4 is just hinging on that game and then it's like Man City.
But maybe if it's like maybe at home, maybe Man City by then already title wrap up. Maybe they playing the Champions League final by then.
Oh right. Okay. So actually they're lucky that they get Man City so far behind. Because I think their form's quite bad now, but I don't think they will keep losing. But that's what I always say also. It's like, past results don't predict future returns. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Okay, I think Everton gonna win 1-0. They always win by small margin.
Brighton not so good at home, Everton pretty good away. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Everton.
Actually, I'm a bit sad they didn't start Joao Virginia. My second favourite goalkeeper now in the Premier League.
Who is your favourite goalkeeper?
What's that guy's name? And there was one guy with a freaking weird name for another team.
Bailey Peacock Farrell.
Farrell. Yes.
You sure it's not Cao Min Kelleher?
He gone already. I don't know where he go. He injured. Then never see him.
My top three
Oh,
favorites.
he's actually injured.
He was injured. Then don't know where he go already.
It'll be the draw. It'll be the end of Everton's top 4 hopes. So go for 1-1.
I think Brighton will win. Like I have a feeling they would nick a win here. I actually watched the game just for fun. Right? I wanted to see how Brighton did. First half, they were really, really much more energetic. In second half, they just let Man U have control. Which is sad. I mean, they could have made it 2-0 at one point. There was some penalty call, but too bad. Welbeck couldn't score. So I think, as much as I like Everton's first team on paper, at least, somehow they don't perform. And I think Brighton just need to keep up the intensity. They should be able to get a victory against Everton. I'm going for 1-0 Brighton win.
Okay, so that might put an end to Everton's top 4 hopes, but another team have just boosted their top 4 hopes. Liverpool, last time out, capitalized on a very weak Arsenal showing to win 3-0. But I think maybe the crucial question to Inran, who probably is very optimistic now about Liverpool's top 4 hopes. I think the answer to this is yes, but I'm just going to ask anyway. Liverpool to finish top 4?
I'm not optimistic. It's just that from outside the conversation, now they're in the conversation.
Okay.
Because of the form picking up and getting 2 wins in a row. So hopefully they are picking up form in at the, I wouldn't say right time too late already but at least with Jota coming back and Fabinho playing in midfield, the team feels a lot more it looks a lot better going forward. So I think they have a good chance of getting into the top 4. Their run up is quite easy. But then again, they lose to all the small teams before that. So I think with Jota back, he's gonna give an edge to the team. It's harder to plan to play against them with Jota in the team, right? Before that, it can be it's the front three again, 4-3-3. But now with him in the picture, I think it's a lot more unpredictable.
But this is Liverpool's first game at Anfield after the international break. Remember, Liverpool still do have that losing streak against at home at Anfield.
Wow, ridiculous.
This is against a Villa team that beat Liverpool 7-2 last time out. Maybe this is a good time to get your revenge.
Yeah, I don't think Aston Villa are gonna do a double over us So I think it's gonna be a Liverpool win. 2-0 Liverpool.
For this game, I think I'm quite confident in Liverpool winning Aston Villa. I'm just go for 2-1 Liverpool. The key is getting Fabinho back in his defensive mid position.
Yeah, before that when he dropped back, he was a good defender but you don't have people in front.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, it helps by Arsenal playing terribly that day.
No, Arteta's record is worse than Emery's and worse than Wenger's. His first 50 games is worse than Emery's and worse than Wenger's last 50 games. So Wenger's the best. Then Emery go down, then now Arteta go down again. So they just keep dropping. Don't know. Maybe some people wish that Wenger's still there. But there's trouble in the club already, right? When they're looking to, when they miss players like David Luiz and Xhaka, it's
yeah, oh my god.
They can say, if Xhaka around, confirm won't lose, or he got more leadership, all that. But if he's your savior, it's gone already at the club.
I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna use another 2-2 on this.
Wow, so many 2-2s this week.
2-2s.
I'm very conscious in knowing that after this Aston Villa game, right, Liverpool's next home game is against Newcastle. So
what has that got to do with anything?
No, so I hope that Liverpool manage to get their winning
get their form
back at Anfield.
I don't think they need any form to go to Newcastle and get a result.
No,
So
not
that's
go
the
to
good
Newcastle.
thing.
Newcastle going to Anfield.
Oh, that's even worse.
Let's go for a high scoring one. Liverpool 3-1. So Aston Villa last time out did get a 3-1 win against Fulham. For 17 minutes, Fulham were outside of the bottom 3, only to collapse in the last 12 minutes of the game against Aston Villa. No excuses for that one. I guess the 2 goals Trezeguet scored, that was pretty slack defending. Maybe because we started to pressure less or so after we took the lead. But the third goal expected because Parker went for it. He started to throw on attackers and all that, got caught out for the third goal. So that one, okay, I can understand. But I think Imran mentioned this also, the losing feeling is starting to get back. It's now 4 losses in the last 5. Although it's our first loss in 9 away league games, this is at home. Fulham will face Wolves. Wolves have nothing much to play for. Mitro starting to score again. But yet, somehow, not very confident. Even if we do beat Wolves, right, it's starting to look a bit, the fixture run up after that doesn't look very good. But I think I will stick to being a little bit more confident. Maybe we can still bounce back.
Yeah.
2-1 win.
Okay lah, not that far-fetched. Wolves the form as bad as Fulham so I think it'll be a draw lah, 2-2. Here's my 2-2.
Okay, I didn't watch the Fulham game, but what happened? How did they suddenly
Collapse.
Okay, like for 70 minutes, right? Our goal came on the 61st. After Mitro scored, there was you can sense a bit of a relief. And then it seemed as if we started to play a bit more. We dropped too far back. A little bit of the Jose Mourinho kind of thing where you invite pressure on. And then Villa made, I think it was all 3 subs at once or something. Yeah, and then, the players who came on were more fresh. I think maybe you could say, I wouldn't say this was a criticism, but maybe Scott Parker a bit slow with his substitutions. It was more reactive, like, oh, shit, now we starting to lose game. We need to go and throw more forwards on. Bit too late by then already. But I think it was more like, oh, okay, we got the goal, start to sit in, protect the lead. Didn't really happen.
That sounds like a typical relegation team though. Yeah, that is worrying. And I think Wolves, they were bad to go 3-0 down, but they came back in the second half. They were much better. And I still believe that on paper, their team should breeze past Fulham. On paper, at least. Even their random young striker finally scored, Fabio Silva, right? So maybe that will give him confidence. I think Fulham might be in trouble. I'm going to go for Wolves win 2-0.
Weirdly enough, I actually believe in Fulham. Yeah.
Okay.
As in, they didn't play terribly. I feel they played quite well in the first 60-odd minutes. Okay, given the opposition that they had to face. I would think that playing at home and that Aston Villa being tougher oppositions than Wolves will give them a better chance. Maybe Scott Parker go and spank all of them in the dressing room. Maybe now they will finally back up. But yeah, I think I do believe Fulham can get a result of this game easily. So I'll go for 2-0 Fulham win.
Wolves last time out, of course, lost that chastening game against West Ham. West Ham once again went 3 goals up and then almost nearly lost it this time. But Wolves not quite Arsenal. So eventually West Ham did lose out the win. But this is 3rd against 4th. West Ham are currently leading the race for the top 4.
For those people sitting on the fence, I think it's time to jump on the bandwagon. Just like Bitcoin, you didn't expect it to be so big. So I think you should jump on the bandwagon early so don't lose out next time. Maybe maybe borderline top 4 every season. Maybe they are the new Leicester.
Yeah, maybe you could say Jesse Lingard signing of the season.
I think that is it.
Yeah, he's not alone, right?
He's alone.
Oh.
Sadly, he's alone.
Yeah.
So he still maybe got hope to play for Man U.
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Don't think so. Because, right now, the role he's playing at West Ham, he has to compete with Bruno Fernandes already.
Cannot. He outscore just the stats.
Yeah, but even against Wolves, right, he's like the 3 goals, he scored 1, assist 1, created 1. Basically, it's the Jesse Lingard show.
His stats is like form-wise, I think can match Bruno.
If you extrapolate the games,
Extrapolate the
he
game.
destroys Bruno, let me tell you.
Yeah. If he was there at the start of the season, 38 games, 6
it's 20 goals. It's like Harry Kane but better. So what I'm saying is that if Lingard went to West Ham at the start of the season, they'll be top by now. They'll be the only team challenging Man City. So I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they confirmed top 4.
Could it be another high-scoring game? Can West Ham score again? Probably not. But I'm going to go for it anyways. 4-3 West Ham. Let's go.
Wow, going for it.
Let's go.
Where the
I love it.
Where the 4 goal come from, don't know. He's probably going to score 2 and assist 2. Who even knows?
Antonio injured though.
Who?
That's something to think, right? He got subbed out quite early.
It's okay. They don't really need Antonio. They
Yeah.
got Jesse
Jesse
Lingard.
Lingard.
They got Thomas Tuchel. They got
Just
Jared
play
Bowen.
5 players up front, just like that. That's final false 9.
Yeah, Jesse Lingard just got all 4 goals.
Yeah,
Declan Rice is
hard carry.
out, right? Even Declan Rice is injured. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw. But how many goals? I think I'll go for another 2-2 here.
I'm going to go draw also. 1-1 between West Ham and Leicester.
I think overall Leicester still the better team, and obviously I want them to win. So I think I'll predict a Leicester win, maybe 3-1.
Man City are now officially 4 more wins away from the title, although, we've put them so far back at the end of the episode. Pretty much, we already think it's a done deal. But they still have to be able to cross the T's and dot the I's. Man City are against Leeds United.
I think they confirm gonna wreck. I think 4-1.
Okay.
Because they don't give a shit who they play on. They just play the same style. They just push and attack and everybody flood the box. And so you try to attack Man City, you confirm 2-1. It's not fit for the defense also. So it's I think easy game for Man City. Play into their hands, into their strength.
I'll go for a trendy scoreline. I'll go for 2-2 Man City.
This is record-breaking number of 2-2s this episode.
Imagine you get 0-2-2s. It'll be so magu. Football armchair.
That's the whole point.
Man City is too good for Leeds. I think it'll be a bit close though. I think Man City will still try to manage their energy levels. They still got Champions League to worry about. I think it'll be 2-1 Man City.
I'm going to go in between yours and Inrun. I'll go 3-1 Man City. Yeah, Sheffield United face Arsenal in this. Arsenal have officially nothing to play for in this season already in the Premier League.
Oof, wow.
Arsenal 3-1.
I'm very tempted to go for a draw. And yeah, it's really dependent on if the youngsters come back. Arsenal need them so desperately. Played crap, really, really horrible against Liverpool. A very brave 0-0 Sheffield United draw.
To me, eye-inspiring Sheffield team against eye-inspiring Arsenal team. Probably eye-inspiring game. I'll go for a 0-0.
I mean, I'll go for Arsenal win. A bit boring, but I'll go 1-0 Arsenal. That's it for our Premier League matches. I don't know if you all have anything to say for matches across the other leagues or anything. I guess maybe you can say La Liga now finally there's a title race going on. Atletico completely screwed it up. Ronald Koeman for comeback of the year.
Haven't been following it. Barcelona's form good.
No, it's Atletico sleeping up.
Within the last 8 games, Barca have closed a 11-point gap. It's now just 1.
Oh my god. Real Madrid also not that far behind, right?
Right, that's true. Yeah, it's a 3-horse race again.
But it is a decline of the Spanish league. All of them are getting older. All their good players are aging.
Speaking of other leagues, right? I watched the Leo PSG game this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
League getting a bit of love here. But okay.
Upset, right? Leo win.
Yeah, Leo won.
Could be their first title since the Eden Hazard era.
What happened to PSG?
But the thing is, their players are not as good as previously. I would think so. Somehow they didn't spend a lot these few years compared to how they spent initially.
I mean, possibly the Mbappe and Neymar deals, they have to have to pay back
them.
for the next few years.
Completely destroyed them. Yeah. But
it looks like the Erling Haaland will definitely be moving. Dortmund lost to Frankfurt in the Champions League playoff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now they're 6 points, 7 points behind.
7 points behind, 7 games to go. I think it's done already.
Yeah. That's why Erling Haaland's in the news. It's just
yeah.
But his manager going around talking to all the clubs already.
His agent.
Not manager. Agent.
He already going to Etihad already, man.
Yeah.
Champions League, gotta experience first.
Yeah, but interesting prospect. Hope it comes to EPL.
Yeah, if he goes to Man City, that's it.
It feels like he's going to go to Man City there because it's just right. Aguero moving on already. Aguero moving on. Gabriel Jesus still not very.
Yeah, his dad also used to play for Man City.
Yeah, got all the connections.
Yeah.
Still got Real Madrid and Barcelona there, but they're both broke now. So
yeah.
But they still meeting the agent. So
the agent is the best. Stir the
Mino
most shit.
Raiola.
Yeah, Holy stirring shit.
That's how he get rich, man. Stir shit.
Man U say they'll never do business with him, is it? So
They always say that.
Not going to Man U already.
Lukaku nonsense that they experience. But how not to do business with him? He owns he managed so many top players. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how he got time to be friends with so many players. Every time someone call him, he will fly there, fly here, fly there.
Okay, maybe not all your players need constant attention also. Not everyone's a Paul Pogba.
What happened to him? He injured, is it? Very long hear about him already.
Oh,
I don't know, apparently he played against Brighton now.
We only criticize Pogba when Man U not doing well. Then it's Pogba's fault. They doing well cannot.
Graham Souness conundrum.
Yeah.
No, I went to watch a documentary on Benfica.
Okay.
On the downfall of Benfica or something like that. Yeah.
What do you mean? They're still top 3 in
But
Portugal.
They're not as good as they used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, this kind of thing.
Definitely lah.
Yeah.
Last time they always dominating.
Then they also saying how Benfica immediately they purposely play their young players regardless of how ready they are because they just want to sell.
Okay.
So yeah. So in that sense, so technically, I mean Dortmund is kind of doing the same thing. So you can't really say Benfica is wrong for doing the same. You know what I mean?
But a lot of these so-called bigger clubs at smaller leagues, although Dortmund not small league, but eventually they become feeder clubs or something.
Yeah lah. But I think Benfica are doing a good job. How the hell do you sell Joao Felix for freaking 100 million? You know what I mean? How do you do this kind of thing? So
Yeah.
props to them.
Honestly, I don't know what the Atletico was thinking. They were never one for spending a lot of money. Suddenly that time it just went crazy, you know. Just based on like the Neymar transfer. Like, okay, we need to spend money also.
But I thought they sold Griezmann.
Then they got a lot of money. They wanted somebody to immediately replace Griezmann.
I mean, I think he will be good lah. Just not now, lor.
I actually did check the analytics from our
Spotify,
right?
There were analytics. Oh shit.
Yeah. We actually have 8 listeners from
Amazing. And one of them is me. So
Yeah.
so yes.
Besides us, that's 4.
75% of listeners are from Singapore. So that means, right, we actually have 2 people listening from
It's
elsewhere.
fucking Chris Mavinga, I may tell you guys.
You said he is in which club again?
SC Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto, right? Yeah, one of the listeners, right, is from Canada.
Holy shit!
Oh, confirm.
Chris Mavinga.
He did sit
Hiding
in the
Chris.
back.
I tell you, the mystery of Chris Mavinga continues. For those on YouTube, it'll be a little bit weird because you only see 3 of us left. Imran disconnected. We'll just do the outro here. So hopefully all of you enjoyed our preview of Matchweek 31 from all of us here at Football Armchair Experts. Even though we know nothing, hopefully today you've learned something. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.